Good morning, everyone. Wow, so yesterday I asked a lot of questions. Hopefully you have some answers. Fill your cup. Oh my gosh, this hot coffee is so good this morning. So we're going to start digging in to some of those things we started thinking about yesterday and how that sets us up for a life of self-sabotage or creating the life of our dreams, and what all this means and where we're going this week. Because only we can decide that, folks. So, what is sabotage? Sabotage is defined as destructive or obstructive action carried on by a civilian or enemy agent to hinder a nation's war effort, or an act or process tending to hamper or hurt or deliberate subversion. But I want you to think about it this way. In this case, I am the enemy agent. That's right, my people. Self-sabotage. It's committed 100% by us, against us. It's completely deliberate. We don't accidentally do this to ourselves. So like I said yesterday, why do I do it then? We've got to get to the bottom of this, because I'm terrified that every ounce of progress that I've made will be completely undone by me, because I've done it before. I've lost weight before. I've had incredible successes in my life. And then I've systematically blown it all to smithereens all by myself. And I'm not doing it this time. I'm never gaining this weight back. I am on a mission. And I want to be able to keep my foot on the gas for what I've already accomplished and maintain that and move forward on all my new goals. But how do I do something that I've never done before? I had to do some research. And that's how I found Gary John Bishop. Along with your recommendations, I found his second book first, Stop Doing That Shit, on self-sabotage. And I thought we needed to read the first book on F Yourself, and it came really highly recommended. So we had to do the work in that book first before we could get here. And this is really where I want to dig into with you, because this time things are going to be different. We are going to end this insane repetitive cycle of sabotage and recovery, because sabotage, y'all, it creeps in slowly like a thief in the night to steal our joy. It starts by hitting that snooze button. And I'll be honest, this morning was tough. The dog was awake before I was, and I really thought long and hard about kicking him off the bed and pressing snooze. I really did. But I didn't. I showed up, member of the 5 a.m. club, and I'm sticking to it. Or it's skipping that one workout. Or for me, it might be skipping breakfast, running out the door and not making my nutrition a priority, not answering an email right away, or replying to that text message you meant to. And before you know it, all these little things add up and you're going, wham, holy cow, here I am again. I've done it again. So now what? Like, I know I do it, but why do I do it? I've got to get to the bottom of this. We've got to get to the bottom of this. And Gary John Bishop in the book believes it's because consciously we are not aligned with what we're actually driven to do in the depths of our subconscious thoughts. And in our subconscious, we've created this set of sort of invisible rules about ourselves that limit us. And we've got to be able to uncover what those are and then interrupt that conversation, that internal dialogue that we have with ourselves. And these aren't surface thoughts, y'all. These are like the deep, dark, subconscious, internal, repetitive dialogues that we have with ourselves. And it's this dialogue that really dictates all of our thoughts and emotions. And if you're anything like me, this is not a positive dialogue at all. So we're digging into that. We're digging into what he calls your 3 saboteurs, which was such an eye-opening exercise for me. I can't wait to get into this part. We all have 3 personal conclusions that we make about ourselves, others, and our lives. And that is based on a lot of our past. So we've got to answer these questions today to get to where we're going. So I promise you, by the end of this, you're going to be like, I understand why she made me answer all of those really hard questions about my life. I promise. So I call it yo-yoing, or feeling like you take 2 steps forward and then 1 step back, or 1 step forward, 2 steps back. It's just that constant cycle. But why do we do what we do? Like, why do you do this? And where is it all headed anyways? Think about that. Nobody can mess up your life but you. So why do you do it? Why are you your own worst enemy? Why do you get in your own way? Answer those questions. And the solution here is not having more willpower or more self-discipline. Because this is a battle or a game. I like to think of it as a battle more, but this is a game where the subconscious always wins. Always. So are we destined to constantly repeat this game of sabotage recovery over and over and over again? Like, who survives this? Well, in the book it says that people who are able to predict change and adapt to change the most quickly win or survive. Which makes sense. However, we've also established that humans by nature want to stay safe and certain. So being able to predict, have those predictors of change, help us stay safe. So I'll give you sort of a general example. You are looking for your love of your life, your new relationship. So you're going out on your first date and this person shows up 10 minutes late. Well, you are a to be early is to be on time type of person. So within the first 10 minutes, you've already predicted that this is not the person you want to spend the rest of your life with. We allow our past experiences to predict our future outcomes, which I find really interesting and sort of jacked up. Because if we're looking to create new behaviors and new futures, we should not be relying on these old predictable thoughts and conclusions, right? We're limiting ourselves with them automatically. It's that thought in your head when you say, ooh, I want to take an online course. But then you think, oh my gosh, I don't have the time to do that. Like, I'll have to do that when the kids go back to school. But guess what? The kids are going to go back to school and you're not going to be any further down the road. You're not going to take that course because there's going to be something else that gets in your way. It's too hard. It won't work. I can't do that. All those things we tell ourselves, this is what he calls our own personal matrix of old emotions and old experiences. And it's hard to identify these predictions in ourselves. But we've got to understand we're pulled naturally to the safe and predictable, because if we took risks in the not so long ago past as humans, we would get eaten by lions. So we are not naturally risk takers. We want the safe and predictable. We fear failure. We fear judgment. We want to limit pain. We want to limit fear and anxiety in our lives. But at the same time that we want safe and certain, we yearn for new and change and better. Also, what a jacked up juxtaposition to be stuck in on a daily basis. To want one thing, but then be naturally drawn to the exact opposite. And this is the point in the book where the question I asked yesterday, so what has been the underlying experience of your life this far, then is asked. And I really want you to take the time to answer this, because when it's all said and done, look at the struggles, look at the victories, look at the determinations, your accomplishments, your biggest disappointments, the losses, sorrow, areas where you drive to be better. Where do you want a better body, a better house, a better car, better help society be better, to live your purpose? What are the things that get you going, that light you up? What are the things that bring you down and have disappointed you? What are all those things in your life? What are you left with? Really do the work here, because our repetitive and destructive behaviors are supposed to be that way. They're negative, and we've got to dig into them and find out what they are, because they keep us locked on repeat, and we are ending that cycle. So if we're after new, we've got to push through this internal negative self-talk, predictable dialogue that we have with ourselves, and really reach for the unknown. So answer the questions, do the work. I can't wait to see where this takes us this week. And I'll be back tomorrow to let you know where we're headed next. Peace.